Let me ask you this: if this is a new contract, and then what? And we're entering into a new contract for this type of services with this individual. It states in the description, consultant has demonstrated competencies to perform the work. How could they demonstrate competency to perform this work if it's a new contract?
In other things she does in the world,
But it's for a different service that we've never let out before to this individual. That's where I get confused. So if it's new that we've never done business with on this front with this service with the consultant before, then how can we categorize it as that they've demonstrated performance? Demonstrated performance.
Well, they could have
by-
demonstrated performance in other colleges and with other contracts. We certainly check references.
Okay,
and
because it's
look at the-
unclear here. That's what I want to understand. When is this the sole source? Is it a special? Because it says a specialized experience. It's just unclear. Are we just, or did we competitively select this? And again, I'm not picking on this individual. I'm just trying to understand the rationale provided here. Was it competitively procured?
We did not do an RFP for this process. As we know, Public Contract Code does not require us to do RFPs for professional services, and it's up to the district if they have specialized services for the department who is going to be utilizing the services to do the due diligence and select the vendor and make a recommendation after they've checked their references and, done all of their work on that piece.
So they were handpicked then, in this case, by way of checking their references. Thank you. That's all I have.
let's go back. Excuse me. Let's go back. We need to approve these individually, and we did not approve 5.6. I would entertain a motion to so approve.
So move.
So moved. Second, sorry.
Moved by Trustee Baxter, seconded by Trustee Zia. Any comments? If none, roll call vote.
Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg. Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Now, the one that's perplexing to me is that 5.8, that's next in this, and that is a rejection of all bids. Do we have to approve the rejection of all bids?
Yes, you do.
They're all action.
Is it a different kind of action? Is it like a nullity or,
Read it.
I'm sorry,
It'll tell you what to do.
Rejection.
I don't have it. Did you have yours?
Oh, no, I don't have it printed out.
Yes, I don't. Yes, I don't have it. Do you have yours?
Would you like to see it?
Yes, I would,
The
for some,
Board President Otto, the action reads that the Board of Trustees reject all bids as submitted.
got it, okay. So that's what the motion would be. I entertain a motion.
I move that we
Trustee.
accept
Second.
this.
Trustee Archuleta makes the motion, seconded by Trustee Baxter. Any comment? Roll call vote.
Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg. Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Carries unanimously. And now we're up to speed. We have 5.10, and the recommendation is that the Board of Trustees ratify the contracts issued under $175,000 during the period of March 9 through April 7, 2016, as submitted. Entertain a motion?
So, excuse me, what item are you on?
5.2.
510.
10.
Okay.
Moved by Trustee
Second.
Kellogg, seconded by Trustee Baxter. Discussion, further discussion? Roll call vote.
This is strange. I don't
You're
have a
telling me.
roll call option.
You don't have a roll call option for
No,
this
it's
one?
not. We'll call roll. Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg. Aye. Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Aye.
514, and Trustee Zia, this was one that you asked to be removed as well.
Yes, President Otto. So I see that staff is proposing to increase the budget for disabled student program and services program by almost $150,000. And I just wanted to understand what's driving the recommended increase, and should we be doing more? Because I certainly think that, we can do more, and we should. And I know there is a strive to do that to support our disabled students' program and services.
Go ahead, Vice President Gable.
So the Disabled Student Program and Services is a categorical program that is funded by the Chancellor's Office, and they do change our funding periodically throughout the year. So what we're doing is reflecting the amount of increase in funding that the Chancellor's Office has provided the district.
So in other words, we don't have control over
Correct.
okay. Too bad.
So why do we approve it?
So that we can spend the funds.
Well, I wish we could have more. That's what I mean as far as the control goes. It doesn't sound like we have that luxury
Or opportunity?
or opportunity, yes.
Any more discussion? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Zia, second by trustee Archuleta. Any other comments? Roll call vote. 14.
Irma Archuleta,
Aye.
Virginia Baxter,
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg, Doug Otto,
Aye.
and Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Carries unanimously, 517.
Yes, thank you, President Otta. I just wanted to thank our program administrators for setting up the supervised field work and work experience agreements. And I wanted to just mention it'd be great if we could be doing even more. Are there efforts to do more as far as this item goes?
Great.
Well, these are specific to the instructional program. So if there's an instructional program that requires supervised field work, then we follow that up with the board. There's certainly always efforts outside of the required work experience agreements that we are working on, particularly with the City of Long Beach, to create the internships, but those would be under separate agreements and through the Long Beach call, not coming directly to the board.
Okay, that sounds great. Are we going to get a report on that soon, as far as how we're doing from that front, as it relates to our work with the city?
We can certainly schedule a report later in the year once we hear back from our representatives on Long Beach Call to see where they're at, if they're ready to report.
Okay, great. That's all I had on that item, President Otto.
I'm sorry, I missed that last comment.
That's all I had on that item.
Great. So we have, hold on,
This is a roll call vote on 5.17.
right. Roll call vote, please. Was there a motion?
So moved.
So moved by trustee Zia, second by trustee Baxter.
Irma Archuleta,
Aye.
Virginia Baxter,
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg, Doug Otto,
Aye.
and Sunny Zia.
Aye.
And last but not least, 5.19.
Yes, thank you. So I just want to highlight that this is great that we're accepting a donation of $20,000 from Anthem Blue Cross, and wanted to see if someone can explain whether there are more opportunities to receive such funds and grants, and if that's upcoming. It's always good to receive money, and Anthem Blue Cross has a lot of money, so perhaps we can maximize our opportunity there. But just wanted to get some clarity on that.
We are certainly looking for money every day of the year, and fortunately this college receives more than most. But this is specific to the wellness program. Anthem Blue Cross is one of our medical care contract providers, and they donate to support the wellness program for Long Beach City College. We have other vendors, including those like Kaiser and others, who support us through in-kind donations or others. But this helps support our wellness program, provides services to the employees to help keep them healthy. And so, but to your question, we are always asking Anthem Blue Cross for more money.
Is this something that we asked for and they provided, or is it just something that they have set aside and it's just we can't strive for more?
No, this is something that is established through our benefits committee, which is committee made up of our bargaining units, human resources, and others, and they work with our medical care contract providers to create the wellness program. So they work with them directly to set this up, and Anthem Blue Cross donates the $20,000 directly to that fund.
And is it annually or?
I'd ask Vice President Delgadio.
Yes, it's been annually for about the last 6 years that they started providing it.
All right, great. That's all I have on that item, President Otto.
And would entertain a motion to
So moved.
move.
Second.
This is
Second.
5.19, moved by trustee Zia, seconded by trustee Baxter. Any more discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg. Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Aye.
We are done with the consent calendar. We are moving on to...
President Otto?
Yes.
I'm sorry, before you move on, I just need to make a point of clarification on item 5.20.
Okay.
Is the grant and revenue contract awards. We have on there an agreement with Americana Enterprises, and in the information that is provided in board docs, we say that they're going to pay a daily rate for 375 parking spaces.
Right.
In actuality, they will be paying for 975 parking spaces. So I just wanted to make sure that the board was aware of that change.
You're right, and I had a note about that
We
I...
actually need a,
Okay. Okay, with that explanation, I would entertain a motion.
So moved
The motion is... and
to
second-
change. To
Second
change.
by trustee Baxter. This is to change the language.
No, I did second.
Second.
Trustee Archuleta seconded. Oh, do you have a conflict because you use one of those parking spaces?
No, I've
okay.
got a conflict with the next thing.
Oh, okay. Roll call vote. 5.20.
Aye.
Irma Archuleta. Virginia Baxter.
Abstain.
You do use one of those.
Jeff Kellogg. Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Can I explain why?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
No, go ahead.
Well, there's a contract here for Goldman Sachs Foundation with $2 million. That $2.3 million goes to the Long Beach City College Foundation. Then it is transferred to the district. And so I wanted to be transparent about this because it's a lot of money.
If it was a little bit of money, you
If it
wouldn't
was a
care?
little bit, I wouldn't be transparent.
Can we vote on that?
You already did.
No, I meant whether she has to be transparent. Okay. Are we okay with 5.21 and 5.22? Any issues? I don't think so. So we have finished the consent agenda. We are now on to human resources, 6.1, which is the district initial bargaining proposal to CHI and Long Beach City College, a full contract renewal. And it's not an action item, right? Oh, excuse me, it is. I mean, I didn't get part of my pack. Never mind. All right, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved by
I make-
trustee Zia, seconded by trustee Archuleta. Any discussion, comments?
Yes, I'd just like to thank our CHI LBCC faculty for their fine work on behalf of the college district and our students, and just happily will approve this item.
Any other comments? Roll call vote, please.
Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg. Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Carries unanimously. 6.2, the CHI LBCC initial bargaining proposal to the district is also for full contract renewal. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Aye. Second.
Moved by trustee Zia, seconded by trustee Baxter. Any comments? We're just receiving this. Roll call vote, please.
Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Virginia Baxter?
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg? Doug Otto?
Aye.
And Sunny Zia?
Aye.
We are moving on to agenda item number 7. This is the Academic Senate. 7.1, Certificate of Completion. Academic Senate President Kane.
It's an action item, so I'd suggest you call for motion and then turn it over to Senate
So
President for
moved.
questions.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Okay. And second,
Second.
Archuleta and Baxter. Now, discussion? Comments? Academic Senate President Kane.
Does anyone have any questions? This is a new certificate coming out of our basic adult education or learning and academic resources area. It's gone through all the vetting that a certificate would go through the curriculum process.
Any questions, comments? Entertain a motion to approve.
Already did. Call for the question.
Call the question. I'm a little tired tonight.
Irma Archuleta?
Aye.
Virginia Baxter?
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg? Doug Otto?
Aye.
And Sunny Zia?
Aye.
Carries unanimously. We are on to 7.2, Modified Courses. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Zia, second by trustee Baxter. Academic Senate President, comments?
I'll just say that they're modified to fit the CID or the course identification numbering system for better articulation. And the curriculum committee has been doing a lot of work on articulation and alignment. And we also have probably 8 faculty now that are working at the state level in CID course approvals.
Any other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Irma Archuleta?
Aye.
Virginia Baxter?
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg? Doug Otto?
Aye.
And Sunny Zia?
Aye.
7.3, New Certificates. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved by trustee Archuleta, second by trustee Zia. Discussion, comments by our Academic Senate President.
Just a lot of good work by our faculty to be responsive to the needs of the workforce and our students with some of these new certificates.
Questions? Call for a roll call vote.
Irma Archuleta?
Aye.
Virginia Baxter?
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg? Doug Otto?
Aye.
Sunny Zia?
Aye.
Moving on to 7.4, Course Additions to General Education Plans A, B, and C. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved by trustee Archuleta, second by trustee Zia. Report? Same thing?
Just to be clear, once a course is approved and it goes through the approval process all the way through the the chancellor's office, we then also have to have you vote where to place it on our ABC or our plans for transfer.
Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Irma Archuleta?
Aye.
Virginia Baxter?
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg? Doug Otto?
Aye.
Sunny Zia?
Aye.
Carries unanimously. 7.5, Course Additions to General Education Plan A. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Baxter moves, Kellogg seconds.
Sunny moved.
Sunny.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I've given up on that.
Okay. Academic Senate President.
Any questions on this item? Okay.
None.
Excuse me, repeat the motion and the second, please.
Okay, the motion was by Baxter, the second was by Kellogg.
Thank you.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Irma Archuleta?
Aye.
Virginia Baxter?
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg? Doug Otto?
Aye.
Sunny Zia?
Aye.
And then 7.6, course addition to Plan B. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
By Trustee Archuleta, second by Trustee Kellogg. Academic Senate President, anything to add for a start?
No, just say with all of that you've been approving tonight, this represents hundreds of hours of faculty work to get it to this point.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Just because I deal with the senior center and they call themselves Lifetime Learning, could you give a 3-word synopsis of what they're going to learn in lifelong learning and self-development, and what department is COSA?
So the lifelong learning is a category under Plan B, and there's other courses that are grouped under that category. And COSA is our computer office studies, and what is the applications? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was COS. I thought this was a new department.
All the COS courses have a fourth letter that designates the courses more specifically into an area within computer office studies.
Okay. Is this part like when now they're teaching how to write your resume? Is it that kind of a class?
Not necessarily, no, that's probably more local. And this is for Plan B, transfer to Cal State.
Oh, okay.
And they have a category that they classify lifelong learning and wellness. A lot of the health and kinesiology courses are in that area as well.
All right, thank you.
Okay, roll call vote, unless there are further questions.
Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg.
Aye.
Doug Otto.
Aye.
Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Then we move on to administrative services. 8.1 was the approval of revised board policy 6010, budget preparation. The recommended action is that the Board of Trustees approve the revised board policy 6010. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Archuleta, second by Trustee Kellogg. Questions or comments? Roll call vote.
Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg. Doug Otto.
Aye.
Sunny Zia.
Aye.
We've already done 8.2. When we go to reports, 9.1, Academic Senate President, your report.
Thank you, President Otto. I just have a brief report. I want to let you all know that the statewide Senate had their spring plenary this past weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in Sacramento. And I'm happy to say that the resolution that you passed or endorsed this evening to support the increase of Cal grants was something also that the statewide Senate endorsed. And I also want to acknowledge that our David Morse, this was his last big event as the statewide Senate president. He did an excellent job. We can be really proud of him and the efforts that he's contributed to the state Senate efforts in the last 2 years. And the statewide Senate elected another full slate of really excellent officers to take the group forward. Then the other thing I want to say is our own local Senate has been in a lot of discussion over working with Dr. Long on building a bigger, more comprehensive schedule that has creative scheduling patterns, and we're going to be in discussion with the student services area about how we can also be creative in scheduling all the services so that they're open at the same time students are here. So we're doing some work in that arena as well. But that ends my report.
Great, thank you. Superintendent President.
Thank you, Board President Otto. I have a few comments and updates. First, sadly, another member of the Long Beach City College family passed away, and I know Trustee Baxter mentioned it, but we'd like to close this meeting in her honor. Her name was Joan Bradshaw. She was longtime board secretary and spent many board meetings. I'm the only one. She was a wonderful lady, one of the toughest board secretaries we've had here at the college, although next to Jackie, of course. But Joan was just a wonderful person, and the college will miss her dearly, and I just want to take a moment to acknowledge her for all the service she gave our college and this board over the many past years that she served the board. A couple other items. First, some really great news. I want to take a moment to congratulate the individuals who were recently honored in receiving the John Sulan Roush Excellence in Education Award. I know at least one of them is here, so I want to congratulate and recognize Annie Engel, Mary Haggerty, and Shenny Weber. They were recognized. I think Shenny's here. Oh, there's Shenny. But we're able to head up to Texas, great state, the Republic of Texas, to be honored. So congratulations to all of you, especially those of you who are here, Annie and Shenny, for being great Viking representatives. I also want to thank everyone who came out to the Spring Olympics. This is, I think, the third year we've had the Spring Olympics, and each year it grows. This year, I think it grew so much we need a bigger gym to hold the Spring Olympics. So I want to thank...
I know where we could get that.
Well, we can put it on the list of projects, the bond measure, but seriously, it was a really great event. We had a ton of faculty, staff out, and everyone had a great time. I want to thank Janet Falcon for her efforts to put it all together, and for everyone who participated. It was really a nice event, so thank you to everybody who was involved. A couple of announcements. Tomorrow, we have the groundbreaking ceremony for QQRR. We're going to have to work on those names at some point. But the QQRR building over at the Pacific Coast campus, 10 a.m. If you're at PCC, come out and celebrate with us. Groundbreaking of another project, and will be another wonderful facility for our students at the Pacific Coast campus. And then we get to talk about Long Beach City College at our next Discover LBCC event, which will be in Trustee Zia's district on May 4th. I'm sure she'll have a little bit to say about that as well. But we hope that if you're in the district, come on out, and it'll be at 6:30 at the main library there in downtown Long Beach. And then finally, I want to, first of all, honor all the faculty that came out today to express their support of CCA and their efforts to negotiate with the district. I do want to say a few words about that, and I know almost everyone is gone, so Morgan, you are in charge for carrying that word back. But seriously, I realize that negotiations always requires, a bit of a dance to get to an agreement, and I'm happy to say that we always seem to come to an agreement. I'm confident that we will again. This is an especially interesting time as we are really trying to invest in Long Beach City College. And I realize there's been a lot of comments about reserves. A lot of that money is designated to be invested in Long Beach City College. It just hasn't been spent yet. Everything from student equity funds to work that we're doing to implement changes in technology to the hiring of many more classified staff. We just had our planning process, and I want to thank everybody who went through the planning process, but that process delivered to me literally a list of probably over 60 positions that the college feels it needs to fill. And a great many of them, the lion's share, are classified positions. And I realize it's not something that the rank and file faculty or the classified think about sometimes,